Loot Bet. Made for live betting.
Don't know how to build a team from scratch or find good teammates? DreamTeam.gg, the ultimate team building platform. Find and connect with new players, coaches and teams. Manage and monetize your team. Get on fast track to advance from novice to amateur and, if desired, to professional gamer. Join DreamTeam.gg today.
It's the quick scope! This is unreal! Anything is possible. Anything is possible! You still always a monster, Tom!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to our elimination matchup. Both these teams are currently 1 and 2, and while TyLoo are 1 and 0 in this series, they have taken their map choice of Mirage. They go on to overpass a map, which previously in the tournament, they beat Na'Vi, and then they got destroyed by the Ninjas in Pajamas. So, well, Na'Vi, when sort of quoted, they said that they had a bit of a bad day. Stuff like this happens. They'll come back. They'll be stronger. They have been, to be fair to them. The question is, was it a fluke by TyLoo? Or is this just going to be another one of those maps where they can come out all guns blazing? They had a bad game versus NIP, but they're still feeling confident on this one. And can they face GODSENT, who I think are a pretty damn good overpass team?
Yeah, well, we see TyLoo hit that skill ceiling, or much like all of the lunch I just had, Tom, hit the floor. Because, you know, I think, as you said, they look good on this map versus Na'Vi, but then NIP, they were never really in it. You know, NIP looked unreal on overpass. Of course, a chance to get revenge, not versus NIP, but versus the entire Swedish nation. Why not? As you head into map number 2, and it's going to be overpass. Obviously, we knife for side. That's about to happen on this map. You want to be starting on the CT side. It is slightly CT-sided. I'd say you'd be looking maybe 10-5 half, 9-6 half for CTs, so definitely helps in terms of getting the momentum going. For TyLoo, they want to try and keep the momentum up that they had from Mirage, coming off the back of a win there. One thing I will say, felt like GODSENT was sleeping earlier on in the day. But now that tiredness has sort of worn off, they're feeling more awake, they're getting more into it. They definitely looked more like themselves towards the end of Mirage.
Yeah, I think that can be the case with the CT side of that map as well. Both teams with sort of prominent double AWP setups, and both teams, like, I feel like they just seem more comfortable over on the CT side. So definitely going to be interesting to see how the T side actually goes and whether or not we are going to have some of those more sort of aggressive plays, the sort of aim stars that we can see. But either way, we are going to be going right into this one. Of course, we have had the knife round, and it will be TyLoo, starting with arguably the worst side of the map, or not so arguably. But yeah, there's definitely the opportunity for those sort of faster plays. Currently, GODSENT actually have a player missing, so that's why we are just currently sitting here waiting patiently for Disco Doppler to get back into the server. Of course, they had a pretty good map. I imagine they're going to... Well, he's got a death, but it doesn't actually... I don't think it affects anything. Like, maybe his self-esteem. That's about it.
Yeah, Tom. I don't know, all the typing. Yeah, it's going to be a restart. I think because if someone does disconnect like that and then they get the death, you get like the $300 compensation thing.
Oh, I didn't see it. Did it come up on the other side? It might have done.
But regardless, maybe you just didn't want the death, as you say. Padding those stats right from the get-go. Disco Doppler, the serial disconnector. He's going to have the smoke and kit for the team. Extra in with the smoke and a flash for TyLoo. And like a flash, they're going to be heading over here towards mid. Actually, they've all slowed down. This is a curious strategy from TyLoo. They actually wait before peeking into mid. Usually you see teams try and get there as fast as they can to deny any early aggression out from the CT side. It hasn't really led to much this time around, as GODSENT didn't opt to go aggressive on the pistol. But it's looking like a very, very slow round right now from TyLoo.
Yeah, we actually saw them have some sort of interesting rounds when it came to their T side, like making calls that didn't seem to have too much information-based play. Now Twist, oh, that's one of those sort of timing moments where he's holding an angle. The second he looks away is when the team actually start pushing. Now there's 3 players over towards short at the moment for this CT side. Now obviously they're going to have the range advantage, and as they cross in, the T side begin to get slaughtered. Xcura has managed to turn this back. He's made things interesting. DD pushes and Twist with a killer round as he will help his team grab that pistol. GODSENT are the ones off to a flying start, and it was a bit of an interesting setup for the CT side. I don't think the Ts ever saw that one coming. A 3-man short play left the B site pretty open, but at the same time, considering the push came through long, it worked wonderfully when holding on to that cross.
Oh, somebody and the crew. Sounds like they were banned, perhaps, down here in Connected. It's the force spine from TyLoo, so they have CZs, a little bit of armor, a little bit of this and that, spread thinly across the board. Disco Doppler and Freddie B are out to get a nasty surprise if they open up this door. What's behind the door? It's TyLoo. Here they come, running on through. Freddie B does manage to. It's going to be it for him, though, as he pulls through. Weapons retrieved, and Twist going to drop the bomb down here towards this B bomb. So that's prompted the rotation round from Brolin and Hampus. All 3 players here for GODSENT. And he falls. DD wants to try and keep them in this round, though. The MP9 and a CZ, all he has. Got to try and topple Hampus. And it's just not going to happen. Hampus does get rid of him. Second round on the board for GODSENT.
Yeah, a little bit of extra money made. It did get a bit dicey towards the end of that round, but just going to be waiting and watching as the T side tried to do what they can with very little in this round. It's a chance for GODSENT to make back some of the money that they lost in the previous. Obviously, they kept most of their rifles anyway. DD just going to invest into a P250, so there really isn't much on the board here whatsoever. And the double day just absolutely wrecks somebody. He's gone within the first few seconds. A chance for Disco Doppler to make himself some cash as well, although does actually lose his life to DD's P250, so at least forcing 1 rebuy into the next round. Not going to be anything too detrimental, and well, Vintech can't do anything in the end. It is left just onto DD, waiting back, trying to catch off anybody rotating in. But the fact is, in this scenario, he is basically screwed.
You know, the sentiment was there. Everything was there, Tom. You did a fine job, I just want to say. You relayed all the information. My question to you, Tom, do you prefer boneless or bone chicken? There is only one correct answer.
I'm fairly indifferent.
because if you're one of the savages who eats off of a bone, I just can't.
What you mean what you're doing right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was trying, but it's just, I just can't bring myself to do it. Oh. But here we go.
I like it.
People say it adds more flavor.
I can agree
Let me tell you, you don't get more flavor than the spice that TyLoo are going to bring in this round. They've got AKs, plenty of utility across the board, everything you could possibly need for a side take. And they're setting up outside of the B-bomb side. Now, GODSENT went aggressive over here towards mid and long early on. Now they go rotating back towards B. You can see 2 players tasked with that as Freddie B and Hampus. Somebody boosted up. Does get caught out. Tagged once, but it's Brolin on short. The first point of contact. He's going to go further forward, and he finds a plethora of TyLoo players there. Freddie B going to manage one more, but they are trapped. They are going to get closed in on, and Freddie B still fighting back, still fighting for his life. Quick returns from DD, but it's not meant to be. Twist deletes it. GODSENT. I said it was going to be TyLoo that were the spicy ones. They actually end up being a little bit bland, and GODSENT with all the flavor in that round. 4-0 lead now. No money left for TyLoo. And let's not forget, Tom, TyLoo won map number 1. It was a 16-12 victory for them. This is GODSENT's map pick, though. They're 4-0 up on the CT side. And the loser of this is going home.
Yeah, it is an elimination matchup. One of these teams is getting on a plane back home. Of course, Sweden a little bit closer. The trip all the way back for TyLoo, but they're actually going to do some damage already in this round. Actually, DD's got himself a second. He really is doing work with the CZ over the last few rounds and making things at least interesting in this one. They didn't know that Brolin's over towards long, though, and Freddie B has managed to find another one. Brolin just looking to try and shut things down, and any sort of worrying factors seem to have disappeared from this round. The rotation of the bomb is going to try and get in towards the B side, but it seems like the CT side are more than aware of this potential, with AE just trying to sell this fake. And actually, he's done a pretty damn good job of it, because the bomb is actually going to go down on the B side. So I would say this round is more than successful for TyLoo. Bomb plant, and they killed themselves a couple of players.
I still leave the chance to do more than that, though. Oh, the timing, he holds it the whole time, and the second he looks away, and you're going to get picked up at the very end. And GODSENT 5-0 lead, but as you say, the bomb plant damage done. What more could you ask for if you are TyLoo? Now the buy comes in for them. They can get the AWPs out. This is what they've been waiting for. Maybe they don't. We'll find out.
It's all a mystery.
I like this. I like the suspense, the cinematic camera builds.
Well, I will say as well, for TyLoo, one of the things they always had as a problem yesterday was Execute never had armor behind his AWP. There always seemed to be some sort of limitation with their buy because of how much they invested into the forces. So it seems like they've tried to rectify that here. Look at the aggression from Brolin, though. He's feeling so confident at the moment. And these are the sort of plays that we saw from Rez yesterday, which TyLoo just could not deal with. And what is that? Just a fadeaway headshot onto somebody. He's been left clueless as to what's just happened. That is filth. That is absolute filth. And while Hampus adds another to the already turmoil TyLoo's problems, they've got 2 players left, Xcura and AE. And this is looking more of the same on overpass T side. TyLoo are struggling.
They most certainly are. There's something about TyLoo, this map, and losing the Swedes, because that's what's happening right now. Of course, you brought it up yourself. They beat RV on this map just a few days ago. Lost the nip on it yesterday, and now GODSENT 5-0 up. Xcura and AE left alive. So often did we see Xcura and Buntet forced to clutch out on Mirage. This time, he has a different companion, the stand-in. The man filling the void for Mo. Do they check Brolin? They're not going to. Xcura going to manage the trade. There's no way he's ready, though, for Twists, who holds his own, holds down the angle, and GODSENT going to move on to a 6th round. And this is what we expected to see from the boys. They're even out of a little bit of a giggle. Everyone's having a laugh there on the GODSENT side. Not so happy over in the TyLoo camp.
I can't say I'm overly surprised.
You can see, though, Buntet's speaking away.
Yeah, I think they need to sort of stop this early because last time it got way out of control. T side of this map for TyLoo has not been looking good, from what we've seen at least on the B stream. They are going to have to try and awaken fairly soon. Now they've got the rifles back in. Excurate is going to have head armor missing, but ultimately that's not the end of the world. Interested to see that he goes for an HE over a smoke, so I wonder if there's something planned for that or just the order that he buys his grenades in. 6-0 up already. Once again, we're going to see some aggression coming out from this CT side. 2 men already pushing. Hampus this time the one looking for that opener, but it's been Tet to find. And actually this time they punish. Something we did not see yesterday versus NIP. Nice shot from Twist though. We'll look to bring things back. On Orpa in the toilets, or a prominent one, is pretty much as scary as it gets. The fact is, though, the T's, after taking those initial fights, spotting that AWP, they've decided to back around towards Disco Doppler. He's had some incredible rounds in the previous map, even though they came in with the loss. Twist already seems aware of the potential, and it's actually going to be rotating back, with Doppler maybe making the call. He's going to go for the peak, finds one, but it is just going to be the quick trade back. From above, they've got to watch out. And actually, Twist just pushing very aggressively, already finds a kill and gets the bomb down as well. Looks for more, but the flick isn't enough. However, it is Brolin from above to find the frag. The spray from AE is wild and won't get him a kill. With 40 seconds left, he's going to have to get that bomb down.
He most certainly is. 35 seconds on that clock, and AE feeling the pressure that Brolin's been applying. Brolin. We can watch the course that he decides to sail. AE with only 1 kill to his name. The stand-in for TyLoo needs to be the man to put this first round on the board for them in the 1v1 clutch. Brolin, so many angles to check. He's going to go walking on in. Time ticking down. It's his biggest enemy right now. And AE going to hear the footsteps. Knows where he is. Has to take the fight. Behind the pillar, Brolin's going to win it out. The defuse looks to come through, and there might be just enough time left for it. It's going to come down to the wire, but Brolin, in the 1v1, holds his own. And with milliseconds to spare, cements a 7th round on the board for GODSENT.
Yeah, again, it's close, but it's not quite enough. The bomb plant would definitely help them in terms of getting a buy into this next round. Still not going to have themselves an AWP. CT side are actually going to pick up a secondary. Disco Doppler definitely not having the best game so far, so he's going to switch up his dynamic. Actually, Twist is going to be going for this early peak, but nothing really to be found. T side, you can see they're now waiting in case there is any level of aggression. They've sent Disco Doppler actually towards long, so it's going to be 2 AWPs over towards this A side of the map. A faster play could catch out this GODSENT side, but by the looks of things, that is not going to be the case. It's slow and methodical for TyLoo, taking over this map control, taking over different portions of the map, clearing out the connector, and basically trying to find any of this early aggression. But I quite like this from GODSENT. They have been so aggressive in the last few rounds that now that they've fallen back into a much more passive setup, the T side are taking their time clearing all of these angles, when the fact is, there's absolutely no one there.
They're going to be stacking up outside of B. GODSENT have already rotated an extra player in here. So they're going to be walking into the more stacked of the 2 sites. Freddy B. He's the man to keep an eye on here at long. He has support from Hampus. Freddy, only good for damage. It's Hampus to trade back to, and the frags go left and right. It's AE and Excurate trying to clutch versus Disco Doppler and Twist, and it's double AWP in the retake. This is as bad as it gets. AE going to go and find Twist, and this should be the first round on the board for TyLoo. Disco Doppler up against it now in the 1v2. Molotov down on the bomb very, very early. Disco Doppler time taken against him. Really doesn't have much room for error. They're going to go peeking on in, round through short, and AE does manage to find it, courtesy of that flash from Excurate. Important to note, that came in. Credit where credit is due. They played that well. And now TyLoo find their first round here in round number 8. So Bai comes back in for GODSENT. But the money, something to keep an eye on, has ran dry.
Yeah, this is the chance for TyLoo to actually reset their opponents, but there's actually still going to be limitations on the T side, considering they only actually had 2 players surviving here. So it is a crucial round because TyLoo lose this and they are right back to the slaughter that was the first 7 of this half. Now look at the peek coming in from Doppler. Nice shot, already opens up, and that's a rifle into his hands. An aggressive peek that works in success. Brolin even going to be picking up the AWP into this round, and he, not normally one of the players that we see with this weapon, but has found himself an opener. Using it in that connect, you can see Excurate has that temptation to try and peek back, take the fight versus his opponent, but this is such a risky peek to take. And Brolin's just going to find a second. He really is just running away with this map at the moment. 15-4. Now, well, Didi and Bentet, they are left in real trouble. They've got to try and get themselves back into this round. Hampus already spotting out one. The bomb rotating in towards that angle as well. So likely it is. They're absolutely screwed here. And Brolin, maybe he should pick up this AWP more often. That's a 3rd kill for him in this round. Bentet, the only one left alive. Freddie B is sat with just a deagle, but I'm sure that will be upgraded. And it's a flawless one coming back from GODSENT. The scenario pretty much couldn't get any worse for TyLoo.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the performance we kind of saw from them versus NIP on this map. GODSENT actually doing a cleaner job even of dispatching of TyLoo thus far. Tactical pause called on in. And seeing TyLoo on this map, it always feels like they look a little bit out of their depth. As much as I love them, I predicted them to win this series 2-1 over the Swedes. Overpass, I think, is a map where they always look out of their depth, and it requires a fantastic individual performance. You know, really from Buntet, there's no surprise there for them to do that well on this map. I think that's more what we can attribute even the win versus Na'Vi. You know, from, if you recall, like he had a monstrous series in that one. So, you know, tactically, like we see these pauses come in. I'm not really sure this is a map that they're that comfortable on. I just think it's like, you know, because whenever it feels like we see them come up against a team who is a good overpass team, they do normally get run over.
I will say one thing. They're not doing a cleaner job than NIP. It was a 14-1 half.
That's true. Well, you know, there's still a chance, Tom.
Yeah, they can match it. They could do it on the other side, but the CT side from NIP was insane. Like, Rez was a menace, and I think Brolin's taken up a similar sort of role of just, like, being annoying and just pushing aggressively and just finding frags wherever he can. And the fact is that the scary thing about when a player is sort of playing like that, if you don't shut him down early, like it never seems like you ever do. Like, he'll just continue doing it. This round, though, again, it always seems to be Didi finding the kills. Hampus just sprays down 4, though. They may be armorless players, but hey, that's a nice little stat pad for him. Left all onto 1. Didi has said he's been doing some work with the pistols, but it's the ace. Hampus finds all 5. 9-1. 1 player lost for GODSENT. The money starting to rebuild after the damage done in the prior. And TyLoo, they're still stuck on just 1 round.
Yeah, I mean, stuck is a pretty good way of describing it. They've tried everything in the book, it feels like, for them. Where do you go? What do you do if you are TyLoo? There's so many questions that I am not qualified to answer. So I just won't. But it looks like they might try and keep things simple with the B rush. Change the pace. They've tried slow. Now they're going to go back to their usual aggressive style of play. And my goodness, Freddie B lighting up the scoreboard right now. He's dropped the bomb. It's down at his feet. At the mouth of Monster. TyLoo having to fight back already within the first 20 seconds of the round. 3v5 made that much worse through the smoke. Hampus is going to go and delete Didi. So, Buntet, what are you made of? 2v5, some chance still in this round. But it's rapidly being extinguished. Ooh, okay. He's hopping around. The flank from GODSENT shuts this whole thing down, though. And there we go. GODSENT falls. GODSENT 10-1. And lots of money for them. Same cannot be said, however, for TyLoo. As we look over to those rather dismal-looking bank accounts there. Just going to be buying up pistols once again, and that's the main theme of this game. There's no money for TyLoo to go off of. The one round they got, they get instantly reset. They've never had the cash, and GODSENT have always looked one step ahead thus far. That's a nice shot from Twist. Gets that back under control very, very quickly. As he's tagged down. 55 HP. Brolin going to come through and help out. GODSENT from long dispatches of the last. And GODSENT 11-1. That round was impeccable.
Yeah, and a lot of them have been. Like, even after we saw a few closer and then even a round win coming in for TyLoo, the problem is the streak that has just come in from GODSENT has built all that economy right back up. We got a lot of players just around that 10,000 marker, some over, some under, and Freddie B, even if he dies, he can still rebuy anyway. So it is a horrible, horrible scenario for TyLoo to fight back in, and they desperately need the last few rounds. Otherwise, we are just getting that sort of deja vu Swedish team on overpass destroying them. And well, GODSENT, that flashbang's good. He doesn't actually spot the initial player. Still going for those taps. Trying to find himself an opener, and well, he does just, and a second as well. He shouldn't be getting away with this. He even manages to fall back while reloading. A risky thing to do, but if there's nobody to punish you, then what is the issue? In the meantime, in the connector, Hampus has already found a kill onto AE, and this is just a slaughter. One by one, they fall. DD desperately trying to cling on to life, but the fact is he has 19 health and 4 players to find.
Yeah, being on 19 HP definitely isn't going to help that anymore. He does have the bomb on his back, but the bomb without a bomb site is... That's not important, because he's going to die anyway. We can save the gold, we can save that analogy for another day, Tom. You have to reveal what a bomb without a bomb site is like. It's like a trick up our sleeve. So, Bai comes back in for TyLoo. It's probably pretty dismal over in the TyLoo TeamSpeak right now. You can imagine these guys aren't feeling too great. No one really having much of a performance. I don't really think we've even seen many kills come in across these rounds.
I think DD maybe with the pistol every once in a while was doing something, but...
Yeah, I think the most frags right now over on the side of TyLoo is 8. I can't even remember. I think that's on DD. I think you're right. So stacking up outside of B, it's back to the drawing board, back to basics, back to the B bomb site, and another B. It's Freddie B. There's lots of them. He's buzzing around over here on the barrels. Can't stop the alliteration. Just keeps happening. And Hampus kills 2. There's a flank coming in from GODSENT. Yeah, this is more dominant than the NIP game. I don't think we've even seen. I keep trying to count the kills, but every single time we lose the scoreboard. Come on then, right? 5 plus 9, Tom. You can do the maths. 14. I'm just going to do it in my head. It's 25. 25 kills for all the TyLoo. Which means there's 2 players, potentially on the side of GODSENT, that could overtake that if these rounds continue in this fashion. I don't think TyLoo should let this one get in their heads too much. I think it's easier to write off for just a complete and utter wrecking ball of a game like this from GODSENT. GODSENT have looked unreal, by the way. Not a team I would want to face on overpass anytime soon. This round, though, gets interesting. It's made a 2-on-2, courtesy of somebody. Freddie B doesn't manage the trade, so we might be seeing a second round on the board here for TyLoo.
Oh, look at the health. 24 HP between them. Hampus is going to hear all the rotations, just looks to try and sneak up over towards that A site. Doesn't want to make any sound, doesn't want to give away his position. Tries to bait them into thinking that maybe he's pushing from behind. The problem is they are going to be able to take some after plant positions here. And with the AWP, things could become quite difficult. He does have a smoke for the bomb that he can throw down and try and bait them out of these spots. With both players so low, he's going to go hunting, knowing that he needs to now speed up the pace a little bit. Actually going to throw the Molotov down. That may even be enough, but he's run straight through the smoke. He can't find the bomb. That's going to be a problem now. Just trying to dance past the bullets. It's not going to happen. It will be a 13-2 half, as somebody does manage to at least close this round down. But it is still a 13-2 half. Domination coming in from this CT side. And now GODSENT, they're looking to try and close this down.
And I mean, they're looking pretty damn good to do so. A 13-2 half. They only need the pistol round really here, and their fate is decided. They could potentially look to take us through to that third map, Inferno. And that always produces a good series, Tom. GODSENT looked good on Inferno. TyLoo looked good on Inferno. It's going to be a close game, so I really hope that there's no major upset here. And believe me, it would be a major upset if TyLoo can come back from this scoreline. 13-2, but it's not over until 16 rounds is up on the ticket. Didi going to go to spot out one man, but Brolin so fast to get the trade, and Media pushing into the B-bomb site. Somebody's managed one. He has to do that much more, and he's going to get toppled. Brolin, 3 kills in the pistol round. He's just tapping on heads. He's making it look easy, and it's Buntet and Excurate once again. Clutch brothers, maybe not. Buntet on this flank, the only man left, 1v4. And they're going to hear his footsteps. They know exactly where he is. He does at least dispatch of Hampus. But he still has to go above and beyond here. Players all around. And edging forward. Ooh, away. Buntet. Almost a frag on a Brolin as well. You start to maybe start to get some belief behind Buntet, but not meant to be. 14-2. GODSENT win the pistol round. From now, it will just be 4 spies for TyLoo till the very end of this game.
Yeah, unless they manage to win themselves around, it is going to be very tough. What are these odds going to be? It has to be something insane. 13. Why is it always 0.35?
That's a conspiracy right there, Tom. We don't support them here. But no, I've noticed that as well.
Yeah, because it was 2 off league. Again.
Exactly. Well, push towards B-bomb. Hey, you're going to be able to chain together one, but that's it. CZ's yet to really do much. Bomb plant will come in. GODSENT looking poised to reach map point as they have the man advantage in the 4v3 after plant. The bomb goes down. TyLoo are here knocking on their door. They just can't get a word in. Edgeways actually Excurate finding that frag now makes it a 3-on-3. They want to try and get a few more rounds out of this map. Yep, Brolin. Good for one. It's just Doppler to immediately trade back, and Excurate try as he might. Going to get picked off by Twist.
Well, the last-ditch effort is here for TyLoo. Pistols is all they will have. Those CZs being brought in. And a trusty Deeg as well. But the fact is, the Ts, they need 1 round of the next 13 to take this to the 3rd map of Inferno. It's been an impressive performance across the board. No weak links for this GODSENT side. Brolin, the youngster, leading the pack with 25-6. Fact is, can they close this out in style? Already a little bit of an aggressive peek looking to be taken by TyLoo, but they don't find anything. Just going to use what utility they have to smoke this off. Now, they've only got 1 more smoke and 2 flashbangs remaining. Of course, massive detriment in their utility as well. T-side just playing this nice and slow. No real reason to go for anything overly aggressive. They do have a massive advantage in this round as it is. Don't want to give any sort of way back in to this CT side. And already Hampus is going to kick things off. The opening kill. Well, they expect 2 players around this corner, though. Twist maybe about to meet his doom, as they do look to go a little bit more aggressive. And there we go, Buntet manages to net himself an AK-47. That's something at least. But in the meantime, after spotting those 2 players over towards long, the Ts are going to go barreling towards this B site. The only man to defend it is going to be AE, who's tagged, but not by much. Still just going to be waiting patiently. Finds a first with the Deagle. His teammates rotating in. Hampus is there to trade, but Excurate does the same thing. However, Hampus is going ham. 4 kills for him in this round. Somebody shoots a little early and gives away his position. They should know exactly where he is from now on. The question is, can they even get the bomb down? Well, no, they can't, but they win it anyway. 16-2 domination from the side of GODSENT, showing that their overpass was much stronger than TyLoo's. And now they head on to Inferno, the decider, the map that we saw, again, TyLoo lose versus an IP, but in a much closer fashion. The question is, can they have that same sort of resurgence and do just that little bit better?
Yeah, I mean, it's all on the line. The team that loses this is going home, and neither one of these teams, after how hard they fought to get here, wants to have that happen. So, well done to GODSENT. A convincing win over here on Overpass. As you say, map number 3, that's going to be Inferno. It always seems to produce good games, as both these teams are feeling very, very proficient on this map. And with so much at stake, they are playing their hearts out right now, Tom. I personally cannot wait to get through into this third map. But, I mean, you know, it's always kind of hard to follow on with much talk about, you know, what we just saw. It was just a stomp. GODSENT were playing phenomenally well. You know, everyone that had to step up did. I think crucially for a few players who were a little bit quiet on Mirage, like Hampus, for example, that's going to be a chance now for him to have that confidence built back up, right?
Brolin as well.
Yeah,
like,
no, he looked unreal.
From being one of the bottom players in the map to being easily the star of that one. Like, every piece of aggression that he went for seemed to be successful. He picked up an AWP for a round, absolutely destroyed TyLoo. The thing is, though, I just don't think there's much on the TyLoo T side. They really, really struggled, and it's just like yesterday where we didn't get to see their CT side because they were just so far behind.
Yeah, I know, I have to agree. But I tell you what, Tom, we can try and muse over this. We can discuss it during the break, because we're going to head over to that right now, and then we'll be back with map number 3.